and gentlemen, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
We may now be seated. Good morning and welcome to the oath-taking of the new members of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. To formally begin our program, may we call on South Cotabato Governor and Partido Federal ng Pilipinas National President, Governor Reynaldo Tamayo Jr. to deliver his opening remarks.
His Excellency Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Secretary Anton Lagdameo, Special Assistant to the President, Secretary Chiloy Garafil, Secretary Lopez Santos III, Congressman Sandro Marcos, sa mga kasamaan ko na mga PFP executives, mga national officers, sa lahat ng mga governors nandito, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Una sa lahat, gusto ko lang iparating sa ating mga kasamaan na ang isang reason kung bakit walang expansion ang Partido Federal ng Pilipinas sa loob ng isang taon after nang nakaupo ang bagong administrasyon sa electoral structure dahil ang focus ng partido ay nasa grassroots expansion. At nasa 60% na ang expansion natin at naka-create na tayo ng mga basic master units na nasa 60% na ng total ng mga barangay sa buong Pilipinas. Ngayon, it's time na kung saan kailangan na yung expansion dapat nandito na sa electoral structure na kung saan yung mga kasama naman nating mga politiko ang papasok na sa political party. Dalawang struktura po ang Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. Ang isang structure, ito yung Party Institute na kung saan andito yung grassroots na organizing natin at yung electoral structure, nandito naman yung mga politiko natin na nagli-lead ng iba't ibang klase ng gobyerno mula local government hanggang national government. Sa ating mahal na Pangulo bilang national chairman, ang partido ay sumusunod sa kung anong direksyon ng ating Pangulo, ng ating national chairman ng ating partido. Sa ngayong araw na ito, sa outtaking natin, gusto ko lang i-remind ng lahat at kaya iti-take kong opportunity na ito na sabihin sa inyo na huwag talagang kalimutan yung mga ideals, yung mga principles na meron ng Partido Federal dahil ito yung makakatulong sa atin, lalong-lalo na sa ating Pangulo, para masiguro na tuloy-tuloy ang development at tuloy-tuloy ang pagbabago ng ating bansang Pilipinas papunta sa isang progreso at maunlad na bansa. Ang 5 principles na gusto kong sabihin sa inyo ay ito yung theism. Ang party naniniwala sa theism, naniniwala sa Diyos. Pangalawa, humanism, human dignity. Pangatlo, enlightened socialism. Number 3, patriotic federalism. At yung direktang demokrasiya, direct democracy. Ito yung tinitingnan natin na direksyon rin ng ating Pangulo na kung saan nakikita natin yung napakagandang tuloy-tuloy na progresyo ng ating bansa. Kailangan natin magkaisa mula sa local government papunta sa national government para matiyak natin ang progression at development. At yung partidong ito ang magiging katuwang ng administrasyong ito. Sa muli, sa bagong papasok sa partido, welcome sa Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Governor Tamayo. And at this point, we shall now proceed with the oath-taking ceremony. May we invite the President to please administer the oaths of the newly appointed members of the PFP.
How many are we? Ilan ba tayo? We should really... dito? I should be here. Okay. Shall we? All of those taking their oath of office, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, your name, having been appointed to the position of, state your position, hereby solemnly swear that I will well and faithfully discharge, to the best of my ability, the duties of my present position and of all others I may hereafter hold under the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas and the Republic of the Philippines, that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the laws, legal orders and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Welcome to the PFP.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations, everyone. At this juncture, may we invite the President to kindly give us a message.
Good morning to everyone, and all the, especially of course, the new members of our party, the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. The headed, of course, who has been helmed really since the beginning of the campaign by Governor Jun Tamayo. But of course, the origin of this goes back to my first run as Vice President with General Tom Lanchon, that siyang nauna that proposed this. And the reason that we have done this is that, of course, our party, our group, we have turned what was a minor party in the political spectrum into the majority party now in the country. And that is because not only for political convenience, not only to prepare for elections, but because I have always been of the belief that a party must stand for an ideology. Pagka yung partido ay walang ideology, ay hindi talaga lalago. Palipat-lipat ang membro, kuminsan matibay, kuminsan mahina. At yun ang mga nangyayari kuminsan dito sa Pilipinas dahil kung ano-anong partidong ginagamit. Lalong-lalo na pag nadating na sa local government ay paiba-iba na. Kaya kailangan there has to be a central tenet, a central principle to what we are doing. And that is, we were talking here about the federalism. And what we have started to do, kahit na in all but name, ay ating ginagawa, ay talagang ibinibigay ang discretion, ang power, ang function, hanggat maaari sa pinakamababa na level na maaari natin gawin. So, we are doing the first step of the federal government for the Philippines in all but name. And that is what we will continue to do. And that is very simple, that derives from a very simple idea, that the stability of a political structure is much more dependent, much more reliable when we have many power centers. If the power centers only belong here in Manila, then pabagsakin mo yung Manila, bagsak ang buong Pilipinas. But with the power centers being given to us, to the local governments, to the local districts, and to those who are operating at the local level, and thereby bringing those power centers to many, many, many places, it makes for a more stable political structure and makes a more stable political life. Dahil kahit kung may mangyari sa isang lugar, kahit bumagsak yan, basta't nasira, hindi na talaga pwede, nagkagera, whatever, tuloy pa rin yung mga iba. Hindi nasisira ang buong sistema. And that is the central ideology of the PFP. Now, certainly, PFP is a political party. And therefore, that is why we are preparing for all the political cycles that are coming very soon. Ang una dyan, as we all know, tayo naman lahat ay dumaan dyan, as we all know, the barangay elections have a big impact, have a big effect on how the 2025 elections will turn out. Kung ano yung mga resulta dyan. Kasi kung tayo magiging kandidato, mananalo tayo sa 2025, kailangan natin ang suporta ng barangay level. So that is why it was incumbent upon us to now immediately try and organize ourselves so that we are prepared. Because there is always a synergy. Kung meron tayong mga kasama na kailangan ng tulong galing sa partido, kung may matibay ng partido na talagang nagtatrabaho, na talagang may ginagawa, ay makakatulong yan doon sa ating kandidato. At yun ang ating mga yun ang mga ating pag-iisip. Kaya tayo na dito ngayon. And that's why we are here today. So we are trying to align the forces that we are trying to align the political forces that are in that are like-minded political forces. And to that end, I think it is opportune time to be able to say that after this, we are going to continue to talk to other political parties and come to an agreement with them para nga patibayin natin ang husto yung ating grupo. Kahit na nag-iiba ang ating mga partido, kahit na nag-iiba ang ating tinakbuhan, ay pwede pa rin magtulungan. So, I'm sure, alam naman natin, may mga conflict dyan kung minsan. Kasi kung mag-collision tayo sa isang partido, baka may kandidato sila, may kandidato din tayo. Well, that's the sort of thing that we will have to work out. Kaya kailangan na natin umpisahan na ngayon. And that's why we are doing this. And si Gov. Jun Tamayo has been working hard on keeping the party very well organized, and his priorities, the priorities that the party has chosen to focus upon in the last year, has been more about governance than politics. Dahil bago tayong pasok, marami tayong kailangan gawin, marami tayong kailangan palitan, marami tayong kailangan pag-isipan. So that is what we have really been trying to do. We are attempting to transform the government, to transform the bureaucracy, to transform even the thinking of ordinary Filipino citizens and our politicians. Paibayin natin ang pag-iisip para naman makaramdam naman yung ating mga kababayan ng pagbabago na talagang ang pamahalaan ay nandiyan para tulungan sila at hindi upang maging warlord, upang magkaroon ng private army, hindi yan ang ating hindi yan ang ating habol. Ang habol talaga natin ay gawin nating maganda ang sistema. And that's why the idea of federalism became very important. Because again, it is my firm belief that we really have to give ang aking laging sinasabi, which is very, very much in parallel with the thinking of federalism, is that with all the systems that we are trying to put together, what we are trying to do is to make the decision process be made in as low a level as possible. Dahil pagka nangangailangan tayo ng desisyon, dahan-dahan pa, akitin mo na yan hanggang para pabutin pa sa presidente, pabutin pa sa cabinet. Kung kaya na ng governor, kung kaya na ng congressman, sila na mag-decide. Sila naman nakakaalam. And I suppose that comes from my experience in local government and also in the legislature. So that I think is that unang-una mas mabilis ang proseso. Kasi mag-aantay, taas 6 na buwan yan bago bumalik. Pagbalik, iba na itsura kasi yung pinadala ninyo. Alam natin lahat yun. So that's why that is what we are trying to do. That's why we still hold dear to everything that we do. The central principle that we give the functions and the powers we allow functions and powers to be exercised at the lowest possible level. Siyempre, pag national, kailangan dito sa central office, dito sa palasyo, sa mga cabinet, tayo mag-decide. Pero pagka naman, maari na sa regional level, maari nang pag-usapan ng mga governor, ng mga congressman, kayo bahala. Yun ang ating central principle. Kaya yun ang ating sinusundan. So, anyway, I'd like to welcome everyone. I just wanted to say that this is hindi kasi ako sang-ayon dun sa mga marriage of convenience sa political party na nangyayari sa atin. Kaya't nagpapaliwanag ako, hindi ito partido para lang dahil wala ka mapuntahan na partido. Dahil meron tayong paniniwala. Meron tayong hinahabol, meron tayong hangarin para sa ating bansa na pagandahin ang patakbo ng pamahalaan. At sa ganung paraan ay mabigyan natin siyempre ng tulong. At lalo na ngayon na nagkakagulo, kailangan natin pag-isipan ang mga strategies. Pag tinitignan natin, halimbawa ngayon, tinitignan natin yung presyo ng bigas. Lahat ng lugar ay ibang sitwasyon. So again, sinong nagsasabi sa atin what that situation is? Mga lokal. Hindi lamang mga politiko, kundi pati yung mga ating mga government workers, yung ating mga scientists na kung ano-ano na nag-aaral ng kung ano-ano na kailangan natin kung paano kailangan natin gawin. So I take the time to go through that so that we understand that this party stands for something, and we will continue to stand for that. And now that you have joined the party, we welcome you, because we have now a bigger group who is continuing to work for the advocacy of improving the government bureaucracy, of improving the power situation in the Philippines, in the sense that we are trying to make our political system as stable as possible. Mga political theorists yan silang nagsasabi na talagang kailangan ikalat ang kapangyarihan. Huwag natin ilagay sa isang lugar. So that is what we are trying to do, and I'm very happy that we are at the beginnings of this organization of our party, that we are at the beginnings of our dealings, not only with our own party, but also with the other political players who are on the scene. Kaya patitibayan natin ng husto dahil mayroon talaga tayong ipinaglalaban. Kailangan natin ng maraming kakampi, kailangan natin ng lahat ng tulong, at diyan nabuhay yung aming tinatawag na whole of government at whole of nation approach. Dahil nga, kailangan talaga lahat ay magkaisa. Kaya't lagi kong pinapaalala sa tao, yung pagkakaisa na ating sinigaw ng kampanya, hindi po yan slogan, katotohanan yan. Yun talaga ang magiging solution sa ating mga problema. Alright, so again, welcome to the party, welcome to the palace. I'm very happy to have had this opportunity to swear you all in. Meron pa yatang susunod na mga iba para makita na natin kung saan tayo. Soon we will hold, once we are completely organized, we will hold a caucus amongst all the party members. And tignan natin kung ano yung mga kailangan na ating mga individual members, what the party needs to do. We are practical politicians after all. Kailangan natin tignan kung ano yung political na situation para naman meron tayong sagot sa mga problema na haharapin natin. So thank you all very much, and I'm happy that you were able to come and take the oath personally here in the palace, and welcome to the PFP. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this point, may we request the President to kindly grant us a photo opportunity with the new members of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. May we request our newly appointed members of the PFP to please join the President in front for a photo opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, for granting us a photo opportunity. That concludes our oath-taking ceremony. Thank you, Mr. President. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.